none of these lessons affect my value. So I had a client recently, an executive, that made a very big mistake at work, and he was very humiliated. He said, I just want to move to a new country and never come back so I don't have to face anyone about my mistake. But I reminded him that this was just a lesson and it didn't affect his value. And he had to walk around the whole day saying, it doesn't affect my value. I'm still as good as everybody else. But the more that you tell yourself this and you make it a principle of truth in your world, that human value doesn't change, it will start to sink in. It will become your truth. And as it does, you will just find that that fear goes away. And when you have to get up and speak in a room full of people, you're not nervous because you know however it goes, it's your perfect lesson and your value is not attached to it, right? You have the same value no matter what happens. And this was, to me, the most powerful message I wanted to deliver at the conference today, because I believe that we really could change the world if one by one we would all accept this idea as our truth. If we would start to treat every human being that we pass as having the same value as us, it could change virtually everything. Now, another visual to help you think about this idea, I want you to just, am I up closer? Okay. I want you to imagine that I have a very big diamond, and it's huge. It's the biggest diamond on the planet, and it's the only one on the planet this size and this color. How valuable would that diamond be? Priceless. So what would give it priceless value? Why would it be priceless? Yes, and everything on the planet that's a one of a kind is very unique. The other thing that would give it value is its nature, what it's made of. It's made of this amazing diamond material that is so valued on this planet, right? And I believe that each one of us is just like that diamond. We are a one of a kind, irreplaceable human soul. And I believe we're created by a God, and that human soul material is the most valuable thing on the planet. So each of us is a one of a kind, irreplaceable diamond. And do you know where the word diamond comes from? It comes from a Greek word that actually means unchangeable or unbreakable. And that's really what we are. We are this amazing, irreplaceable, infinitely valuable material that if we just see ourselves that way, if we see every other human being that way, keep that idea in our mind, it really will change the way we feel, the way we see the world. And that's most what I wanted to leave you with today. Am I okay, or do we need to give the panelists? Okay, we'll give the panelists a few minutes, then we'll answer some questions. Would you like the floor first? Thank you. Oh, they're going to do their own speech? Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with how this works. Okay. Okay. Um, let's do this. If I get to have a few more minutes, I was so worried I wouldn't have enough. Let's go back for a minute. Actually, let's talk about the shame and blame game for a minute. I want to teach you about this. This is another principle of human behavior that I think it benefits me so much in my life to understand this. All of us, when we have fear that we're not good enough, one of the things that we subconsciously do to be able to process that fear is we look for the bad in other people. And we tend to be more critical and gossip and talk negatively about other people or other things, because if we can focus on the bad in them, it takes the focus off what we feel is the bad in us, right? So this is especially gets triggered when you've made a mistake and you feel shame. The first thing you're going to do is look for someone else to blame about it. We all do this. Recently, I had an opportunity to get a car for my daughter who's 21 and she's never had her own car. And my brother was just going to give this car to her, and we went to pick the car up, and she got in and she said, Mom, how come this car has two brake pedals? Well, it was a manual transmission car, that you have to shift. And she didn't know how to drive that kind of car. So, really quick, we had to go out and teach her how to drive this car. And she was terrible at it. And it kept, popping and stopping. And she almost ran over a couple people. And so we stopped, and I leaned out the window to tell these pedestrians, I'm so sorry, we almost killed you. I'm trying to teach my daughter how to drive this car, and she's kind of struggling with it, and we're so sorry. And I got back in, and I looked at my daughter, and her face was red, and she was humiliated that I had said, she's not quite getting it. I embarrassed her, and she had shame. She felt that I'm not good enough feeling. But instead of focusing on that, she was mad at me, right? She was totally focused on me. And my husband was in the back seat, and he wanted to make her feel better. And he leaned forward and said, "It's okay, sweetie. Sometimes your mom does that to me, too." And now I felt shame. My face was red. But instead of focusing on how I felt about me, I was mad at him. He was in trouble. But this is what we all do when we experience shame. We subconsciously look for someone else to blame for it. And I want you to understand this principle because there will be a lot of times in your life when you're the one that's criticized. Matter of fact, I write a weekly syndicated advice column. And I realized late last night that my column had been published in the United States the day before because my days are so mixed up here. And so I got online to look at my column, and someone had left a very negative comment that they did not like my article at all. They thought I was wrong, and it was kind of mean. It was a mean comment. But I immediately recognized two things. One, that didn't affect my value, right? No matter what anybody says about us or does, it doesn't change your value. You still have the same value as everyone else. And at the end of the day, this person very likely is experiencing a lot of fear that they're not good enough. And that's the reason they want to pull down other people and criticize because it makes them feel better. So just understanding these principles of human behavior better help us to not be offended and hurt at the same level by other people and their behavior. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions about these ideas that I've shared with you? You have one.
Discussion afterwards, after completing the lecture.
Hold on to it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I turn the time over to you? Well, I think I'm done with my time.
Okay, yeah, sure. Sure. Sir.
Because I only get like 20
Yeah, yeah,
minutes,
no
right?
problem. Yeah.
You just want me to keep talking?
Hello. Bonjour, je vais parler en français. Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui comprennent le français? Non? Oui? Bon. Donc monsieur va traduire. Alors, moi j'ai créé en France, il y a 25 ans, une association qui s'appelle les Invités au Festin.
I created in France. It's been 25 years, an association which is Les Invités du Festin.
Au festin,
In English, it's the guests for the feast.
qui accueille des personnes en souffrance psychique grave en général, des psychotiques, les schizophrènes, et des gens qui ne peuvent pas vivre tout seuls.
We get people who had problems, psychiatric problems, problèmes psychiques.
Yes. Problèmes psychiques. And je suis psychiatre.
And I am a psychiatrist.
Voilà. Et c'est en découvrant la situation des malades mentaux dans les hôpitaux psychiatriques que j'ai été vraiment choquée de la manière dont ils étaient traités, isolés, derrière des murs, tout seuls. Et ça ne faisait qu'aggraver leur maladie et leur situation.
And I discovered those people while having problems with their psychiatrist problems, how they were treated in hospitals and everything by the other people, that I got the the message and took ahead this problem to develop new techniques.
Je voulais être psychiatre, mais je ne voulais pas être psychiatre dans un asile, dans un lieu qui détruisait plus qu'il ne guérissait.
I wanted to be a psychiatrist, but I wanted to be a psychiatrist that gives solutions, not that take people with the problem that they have and get more and more difficult.
Parce que j'ai voulu faire de la psychiatrie parce que je croyais vraiment que l'amour, l'empathie, la compassion pouvaient guérir les gens.
I did this because I always thought that love can heal these problems and get people beyond their problems.
Et j'ai découvert à cette époque les lieux de vie qui existaient en France, un courant qui existait alternatif, et je me suis dit c'est ça que je voudrais faire.
And I discovered in France those spots that we call les lieux de vie that take these people, and I decided that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my time.
Ce sont de petits lieux où les gens vivent en communauté et où on développe leurs capacités relationnelles, existentielles, leurs compétences.
These are small community places where we can go with people, develop their competence.
Et je ne savais pas trop comment faire, et c'est grâce à mon mari qui vient de l'entreprise, qui travaille dans une entreprise, que j'ai pu créer le lieu de vie à Besançon.
I really didn't know how to start this and how to make it, but I was thankful to my husband, who was an entrepreneur, that helped me go on this problem and develop new techniques.
Parce que ce sont des lieux qui sont très innovants, qui sont alternatifs, mais qui n'ont pas de financement en France.
These places are new places in France that don't have finance, but that are on a small community and get more resolution to these people in need.
Donc nous avons racheté un ancien couvent et nous avons habité avec les gens pendant 10 ans, avec des gens qui étaient à l'hôpital psychiatrique pendant 10 ans.
So we bought this place and we lived in the place with these people for 10 years long.
And, nous voulons vivre avec eux, être en fraternité avec eux, parce que nous pensons que ce sont des personnes comme nous et que ce n'est pas parce qu'elles ont des problèmes psychiques, qu'elles sont folles, qu'il faut les exclure de la société.
So we wanted to live with these people because we knew they have values like us, and it's not because of their problems that they were to be put aside and live by themselves.
Notre but, c'est qu'elles reprennent leur place dans la société, toute leur place, rien que leur place, et qu'elles revivent dans la communauté des citoyens.
Our goal in life is that these people find their values and find their insurance and can live once again with all people in community.
Voilà, donc c'est ce qu'on appelle la psychiatrie citoyenne, et c'est un courant nouveau en France. Il y a